there have been occasions when, quite honestly, without revealing confidences, we may have made some such unilateral move and we found it was not necessarily responded to by the other side. So everything that we have done is on the basis of what we call the principle of mutual and equal security, which means, if we move back here, you will move back there. So now again, some canards have been floated that, oh, buffer zones have been created in our patrolling areas. If I'm not able to patrol somewhere, he's also not able to patrol on that area. So it's, whatever we have been done is mutual, it is negotiated. Now, this is still unfinished work. There are places where we have this forward deployments. We continue to work away at it. I will only remind you when this started in the summer of 2020. Yeah. If you took the cumulative analysis of this city, people told me this, we're not going to get a solution. The Chinese are going to do this, there's nothing you can do. I would say, please look at the last 2 to 3 years. Yeah. My sense is the military should do. The military has deployed. The military deployed in COVID. The military is deployed round the year. The military is deployed through the winter. The military is deployed at great heights. Yeah. And secondly, the military and diplomacy has worked in lockstep. Now, your question, should you not leave it to military commanders? First of all, it has never been left entirely to military commanders. The military commanders and the diplomats work as a team. Now, you cannot, to take away the military commanders is ridiculous, because the military commander is a person who knows the troops, who knows the topography, who actually knows what is mutual and equal security, which by the way means it's not like the distance on the map. There are many other factors which come into being. So I would say, actually, in the last 3 years, this combo of military diplomacy and diplomacy working in lockstep has made progress. I accept that, we have not been able to sort everything out, but I also tell you that I have not, it's not like for me the end of the road. We will keep at it. When I met the new foreign minister, Chingang, in, Delhi on the sidelines of G20, it was something that we discussed. It is work in progress, and I would certainly like to see more progress.
Since you mentioned you met the new Chinese foreign minister, there seems to be a bit of a change in Chinese diplomacy, if you will. You're seeing the moves that they're making vis-a-vis Iran and Saudi Arabia. They've also floated this 12-point peace plan with Ukraine. What do you make of it in general terms? Do you think that China is trying to play a major global role? And do you think that they're trying to sort of fill in a void they believe the US is leaving behind?
Look, no question that if you take any metric in the last 20, 25 years, I would say maybe even last 40 years, in many ways, China has gone up. So have we. Yeah. Okay. Maybe not at the same pace. Frankly, if we had honestly had this government, I know this is a very biased statement, but if we had had a government like this 25, 30 years ago, maybe we would have gone up faster. But at least today, if you look at the progress in the last decade, do also see that just like China's reach and influence and equities grow, ours too are growing. But in this particular case, what you are mentioning, I think you have a very complex regional problem in which obviously China is involved. The parties have found China useful in whatever that they are doing. And that is something which is a fact.
Do we recalibrate? Because we have huge energy requirements from there. We have a huge diaspora there. Is there any ramification for us?
Why do I need to recalibrate? How is this in any way affecting my relationship with Iran and my relationship with the Saudis? Both relationships are doing well. Both relationships in the last 10 years have got much more attention than they got in the previous 20 years. And their governments understand that. So I'm doing quite well there. Thank you.
So, since you mentioned that, just as China's equity has grown, so has India's, would India want to attempt to try and play peacemaker between Russia and Ukraine?
Look, it's not it's not that simple. I would say it's natural for India, if a situation arises where we can be helpful, of course we would like to be helpful. But, to say we would like to be helpful, to say, would you like to play peacemaker, that's like a very high bar that you're setting. I'm not sure the conditions right now, in any case, would even justify such an expectation. But again, look, the messaging which Prime Minister has given both to President Putin and to President Zelensky, I've been with him in most of his conversations, is that, in our view, there should be a return to the negotiation table. If there is anything we can do, let me know. We are willing to do what we can. But we don't want to, force ourselves or insert ourselves in a situation which is not ripe for such a thing.
So since we've come to the almost last 10 minutes of this session, I want to ask a few personal questions. You are now a social media star, right? Do you plan these things? Ki when I go here, I'll give them this bite, ye viral ho jayega. I mean, even when we were outside, people are standing to take selfies with you and so on. How do you see this newfound stardom?
I would say it's, as you can see, even from my hesitation, that I'm not prepared. Okay. Look, mostly it happens in a conversation like you and I are having. It's something you say because somebody has provoked you, or somebody has pressurized you, or somebody has very cleverly, like you, manipulated you. So you end up saying something. But I guess it's the times, isn't it? I mean, this is an era where people would pick up a sentence, a phrase or something and move it beyond. I take it in that spirit.
How do your family members react to this? You're a celebrity now. You're more than just a diplomat or a minister.
I think my family members probably, we are even otherwise a relatively private family, and we try to become even more private as